Hello guys, welcome to another video. The Slime and the Shield by WGS564. Chapter 2. The slave girl Rimuru decided to keep his mask off from now on. The duo walked through the town where they received awful looks from everyone. They were treated as if they had the plague. Whispers could be heard by everyone. Civilian 1. Why is that guy still with him? Civilian 2. He must have been in on it too. Civilian 1. What disgusting bastards. Rimuru. Looks like the rumor mill is as active as ever. News really travels fast in this kingdom. Now Fumi. Again I say now may be the best time to leave if you don't want trouble. Rimuru. It doesn't bother me. Honestly, this kind of treatment is an interesting experience. No one usually would even think of saying anything bad about me back home. Yet another fun challenge to conquer. Now I'm starting to sound like Milam. Is this how she felt all the time in those 20,000 years before she met me? The duo headed to the field. They continued grinding, and thanks to Rimuru's efforts they were able to gain decent drops and experience. Now Fumi. Already level 10. Not bad. Rimuru. Only problem is that the mobs around us are becoming too weak to give us any real experience. Now Fumi. I guess we should move on soon, but at least with these drops we can sell them since we have a lot. The duo headed to a shop to sell drops. They had over 180. Now Fumi. How much for all of these, merchant? Oh, orange balloons are they? Looks like 180 of them by my count. How does 1 cooper sound for the entire lot? Rimuru. He cannot be serious. Now Fumi. I heard you offer the last guy 1 copper for every 2. Merchant. Did I now? I don't recall that. You two must understand I do have a business to run. Rimuru activated Lord's ambition on the slimy merchant. Rimuru. Is that so, merchant? What are you doing to me? Stop it. Now Fumi. Look, we're not trying to rip you off here. All we're asking for is a fair price. Rimuru. Is it personal? Is there maybe some reason you could have for hating us? Merchant. Please, I give up. Whatever you want, please just stop it. Rimuru tuned off Lord's ambition. The duo received 90 cooper. Now Fumi. One more thing, make sure to spread the word around to all other merchants to not try and scam us. Rimuru. As for what will happen to them, I'm sure you have quite the imagination. Merchant. I get it, I'll tell everyone. Rimuru. Pleasure doing business with you. Now Fumi. To a fruitful relationship. Days passed by. Now Fumi was able to be far stronger than he should have been at that point. Thanks to Rimuru's efforts, his shield was far stronger than the other heroes combined. Now Fumi. The drops are one thing, but we still need to find ways to make money. Rimuru. Let's try selling potions. I bet if we work together we can make something pretty potent. Now Fumi. Not a bad idea. Thanks to their combined efforts they were able to make potions more potent than either of them could have come up with separately. They sold them for quite high prices. They decided to eat at a tavern after a long day. Rimuru. Something wrong. Now Fumi. Now Fumi. Since that day anything I eat has almost no flavor. Rimuru. I'm sorry to hear that, but it could be worse. Thug 1. Oh great shield hero, we'll join your party if you want. Rimuru. Not a word, either of you. Thug 2. Yeah, that's right, thank your lucky stars. Now Fumi. Okay, but how about we go and discuss the terms up front? Rimuru. You know what, screw it, let's take this outside. Now Fumi. You read my mind, partner. They all walked out of the tavern. Thug 2. Let's go get us some equipment, boss. Thug 3. Or maybe your friend can just make us some. Now Fumi. Buy your own equipment. Rimuru. It serves us no purpose to do that for you. Thug 1. Forget the party crap and just hand over everything you guys got. Now Fumi. See, if you had just started with that you could have saved us all a lot of time. Rimuru. Rimuru. On it, partner. Rimuru activated Lord's ambition at an even higher amount than previously. The thugs were losing all common sense as he did. They screamed in agony. Now Fumi. We're letting you guys live for one reason only. Rimuru. Spread the word that we are not to be messed with. Now get out of our sight. The thugs ran. One even visibly soiled themselves. Now Fumi. Not that I doubt our abilities, but with just the two of us it's harder to cover ground for the express we need. Rimuru. You're right, it takes too long. Barokas. Looks like you two could use some help. What was revealed was a short man with glasses, a top hat and a wicked smile. Rimuru whispered to Naofumi. Rimuru. This guy looks like Penguin from Batman. Naofumi. I was thinking the same thing. Barokas. I can tell you guys don't have any. What luck, I have exactly what you two need. Now Fumi. And what would that be? Barokas. Interested are we? Rimuru. Just get to the point, we don't have all night. I'm certain you know who we are. Barokas. Of course, I do brave infamous heroes. If my offer interests you, follow me and we can discuss it further. Naofumi. Give us a second. Naofumi and Rimuru huddled together to whisper. Rimuru. I don't like the looks of this guy. Naofumi. Same here, but worst case scenario, it's a trap and we take everything he owns. Rimuru. Good idea. What's the worst that could happen with the both of us involved? Naofumi. Fine, you've got our interest, try not to waste our time. Barokas. Excellent. The duo followed the man to a tent. Barokas. Right this way. They followed him into the tent where they saw countless cages. Naofumi. What exactly are you offering us? Barokas. Can't you tell by just looking? They're slaves, boys. Naofumi. No way. Barokas. Yes way, I run a slave trading business. Rimuru. What makes you think we'd want to own slaves? Barokas. Oh, I don't know, the fact that they can neither lie nor betray their master. Naofumi had a look of slight interest as the merchant explained how slaves work. Naofumi. Alright, show us what you've got. Barokas. I knew you had what it takes to be a most wonderful patron. Rimuru. Naofumi, are you sure about this? Naofumi. We don't have a choice, there's no one else we can trust. It's us against the world, it's better to have someone who can't stab us in the back. Rimuru. Alright, if you're sure about this, then I won't object. Barokas also explained demi-humans and beast men to Naofumi as they were browsing until Naofumi noticed coughing from a cage. He looked to see a demi-human girl with raccoon-like features. Barokas. I recommend this for high-class gentlemen such as yourselves. Behind the cage revealed an aggressive beast man with the resemblance of a wolf. Barokas. It's at level 75. Naofumi. What do you think? Rimuru. It's high level, but I could tame it. Rimuru gave the beast man a terrifying look and it immediately became submissive. Naofumi. How much you want for it? Barokas. Well, it is highly capable in battle and fairly rare. How does 15 gold pieces sound? Naofumi. Rimuru. Sorry, but I don't think so. It seems like more trouble than it's worth. Despite how capable it is, I don't think it'd be a good ally. Barokas. Well, since I've shown my best, let me ask, what kind of slave are you in the market for? Rimuru. Honestly, slaves don't interest me, but if you want one, Naofumi, I'm fine with that. Naofumi. One that's cheap and obedient will work. Barokas. Sounds like you want a demi-human. If I understand right, they aren't well suited for combat or manual labor. Naofumi. Doesn't matter. Rimuru. I can train anything sentient to fight, it doesn't matter what it is. Naofumi ended up picking the raccoon girl he was looking at earlier. He chose her despite her condition. She looked terrified. The process was found distasteful by Rimuru. Naofumi. I suppose we should know your name. Tell us now. Raftalia. I'm called Raftalia. Naofumi. Raftalia, huh? Rimuru. Looks like we've got a lot of work to do. Naofumi. Let's go. Barokas. I look forward to your next visit. We're always open. They took her and left. Naofumi. Rimuru. Can you make some decent gear for her and a weapon? Rimuru. Shouldn't be too hard. Rimuru then created quite formidable gear and a weapon that she could handle. Rimuru. You can change there, we're not looking. Rimuru. Not bad. Now it's time to teach you how to wield a sword. Are you ready? Raftalia. Why yes. Rimuru began teaching Raftalia techniques he learned from all the swordsmen he knew. It was a slow process, but it yielded some fruit. Rimuru. Alright, that's enough, for now, she should be ready. Raftalia's stomach grumbled. Naofumi. You want something to eat? Raftalia. No sir. Rimuru. No need to lie. Naofumi. You can't fight on an empty stomach. Rimuru. I'm in the mood for some lunch as well. Naofumi. Then that settles it, let's get some lunch. They headed to a nearby restaurant. Naofumi. We'll have the cheapest meal you got and she'll have whatever that kid over there is having. Waiter. That'll be 15 copper. Rimuru. Sure. Here. Rimuru paid for the meal. Rimuru. It'll be your turn to cover it next time. Naofumi. Naofumi. Yeah, I know. Raftalia. Why sir? Naofumi. What, you don't want that? Rimuru. Well, aren't you picky? Raftalia. That's not it, miss, I'm just wondering, why are you getting it for me? Naofumi. You looked like you wanted to try it, I guess. Rimuru. And I'm a guy, so if you're gonna use sir and miss, then say, sir. Raftalia. I am sorry, sir. Rimuru. It's alright, common mistake. Naofumi. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you're basically a trap, aren't you? Rimuru. Shut up, edgelord. Naofumi. Alright, sorry, but hey, I wanted to know what's the deal with that mask you carry around all the time. Rimuru. It's a long story and it has to do with why I look like this, but to put it simply, it belonged to someone I used to know. Now Fumi. Was it a gift, Rimuru? More of a keepsake. Now Fumi. Oh, I'm sorry, Rimuru. It's alright, I've made peace with it a long time ago. Now Fumi. Mind telling me more about your past, Rimuru? It's a long story, I don't think you'll believe me if I told you so, maybe another time. Now Fumi. Alright, their meals came. Raphtalia was fascinated with her food. Now Fumi. Are you saving it for later, Raphtalia? It's all for me. Rimuru. You got to have a decent diet if you're gonna pull your weight and help us. Now Fumi. Right, so hurry up and eat. Raphtalia did as ordered and ate her meal while being quite gluttonous about it. Rimuru. Can you taste anything? Now Fumi. Barely. Rimuru. It's weird, hopefully we can fix that soon. The group went grinding again and Raphtalia was able to reach level 15 in a short time thanks to Rimuru's training. Rimuru. Good, she seems to have some talent with the sword. What's your level now, Fumi? Now Fumi. Level 13. Rimuru. Good, seems like we're making some progress. Now Fumi. Let's stop for today. Rimuru. No arguments here. Rimuru and Naofumi set up camp and discussed a bit about themselves. Raphtalia learned that Naofumi was one of the heroes she was told about and that Rimuru was the mysterious hero who saved the kingdom from any casualties during that time. Rimuru also told a bit about his past from the beginning. Naofumi. Wait, you gotta be kidding me, it couldn't have been that bad. Rimuru. I kid you not, he passed out on the spot, I thought he was a goner. Naofumi. Sounds like you dodged a bullet, did he live? Rimuru. He gained a poison resistance skill from it that should tell you everything. Naofumi. And then what happened, Rimuru? Well, that's how I meet one of my most powerful subordinates, although I couldn't tell at the time because he was acting like quite an idiot. Naofumi. Raphtalia, how's the potion, Raphtalia? It tastes fine. Rimuru. He means, do you feel any better, Raphtalia? Oh yes, it felt like it worked quickly. Rimuru. Looks like the test was successful, Naofumi. I should have never doubted you. Looks like the potions we make really can heal anything. I'm glad I now know how you got your form, but seriously, what happened next? I'm quite curious. Rimuru. Well, if nothing else, this guy really knew how to make an entrance. Rimuru continued his tales till it was time to sleep, but Raphtalia awoke in the night with screams of terror. Raphtalia. No, they're dead Naofumi. What's wrong? She couldn't answer as she kept crying. Rimuru. Calm down, everything's okay. They both embraced her, trying to comfort her. Naofumi. Don't cry, it's alright, it'll be alright. The next day Rimuru and Naofumi were able to make a good profit off of the potions they made. Naofumi. Raphtalia. They looked to see her staring at a ball two kids were playing with. Rimuru. Do you want a ball like that, Raphtalia? No, I don't, I'd never want a ball, not at all. They could see her tail was very clearly waging Rimuru, right. They bought her a ball identical to the one the kids were playing with. Naofumi. You can play with it once we're done with work. Rimuru. And training, Raphtalia. Of course, thanks to Rimuru's negotiations, they were able to stay at an inn for the night. Days went by until Rimuru decided to test Raphtalia's resolve. Naofumi. Are you sure about this, Rimuru? It's necessary. Naofumi. Alright. As they pushed deeper into the forest, they faced off against a rabbit-like monster. Rimuru was able to catch it. Rimuru. Now Raphtalia. Raphtalia. Yes, Rimuru. Stab it and kill it, Raphtalia. But I can't, it'll bleed if I stab it. Naofumi. Do as he says, Raphtalia. I hate blood. Her crest activated, hurting her. Rimuru was about to call it off, but Naofumi gave him a signal to keep going by shaking his head. Naofumi. Listen up now and listen well, if you can't fight then we're not going to take care of you anymore. You got it, there's a wave coming that could end everything and we don't have time for weaklings. We have to get as strong as possible before we're all wiped out, but defense is all I'm good for, so I need more people to fight alongside. If you can't then I'll find someone else, understand? Raphtalia. You'll fight the waves of catastrophe, Naofumi. I have to, it's my job. Raphtalia. I understand. She then stabbed the creature, it bleed and died. Rimuru. Congratulations, you passed the test, you're now ready to get to the next level. Naofumi. Before we gave you power we needed to test your resolve to see if you were worthy of it. You've proven yourself. Rimuru. Now I will give you some of my power, Raphtalia. By saying her name, Rimuru's magicules surrounded her and she became older and stronger. Her clothes could barely keep on her. Rimuru. Here, take this and go change. Rimuru. Not bad, right, Naofumi? Naofumi. Yeah, I can tell just by looking at the equipment you make that it's perfect. Rimuru. Why yeah, that's what I meant, Seal. Master is such a perv. Rimuru. Quiet, that's not true. Also Raphtalia, take this. Rimuru handed her a sword that was part magic and could do soul damage. It was the best he could make that she could handle. Raphtalia. Thank you, Rimuru. Don't mention it now, we just need to make some more money. Seal, do you know a good village we could trade in? Seal. The village of Loot should suffice, Rimuru. Thanks, Seal, you're a privilege. Seal. Praise me more, Rimuru. Maybe later. They traveled to the village called Loot, where they were told they could find valuable ore in a nearby cave. They were collecting quite an abundance of them. Rimuru. I can tell these will fetch a high price now, Fumi. Raphtalia, we're heading further in. Raphtalia was frozen as she saw a monster very similar to the one that killed her parents. Rimuru. Raphtalia, kill it now, Fumi. You don't need to be afraid, you have all the power you need. Rimuru. This thing is nothing to you now, Fumi. You're far stronger than you were before, you can do this, kill it now. Despite the fear that inspirited her, she heard their words and attacked. The creature split in two and a great area behind them was also damaged. Raphtalia was shocked by her own strength. She couldn't believe that she defeated it so easily. Now Fumi. Just what did you do to her, Rimuru? I increased her potential, think of it like this, she was a 2/6 star character, now she's a 106th star character. Now Fumi. So that's why you did this test, you wanted to see if she was ready. Rimuru. Yes, and she is. Oh yeah, while I'm at it, Rimuru took a lock of his hair and fed it to Naofumi's shield. Naofumi. Whoa, that's a lot of abilities with all these, most stuff should be light work, Rimuru. Be careful with it now, Naofumi. Rimuru, you aren't just some slime, are you, Rimuru? That's the simplest way to put it. Now let's get these drops and leave, we'll have to do everything we can if we want to keep up with those other heroes.